So before we start sculpting, I am going to go over some basic prep work that you will probably want to do. You don't necessarily need to have any drawings that you do beforehand, but it can be helpful, especially if you're starting out, to have some kind of reference material to go off of. Generally, when I'm sculpting, I have a whole bunch of different references up, usually on Google Images. Sometimes I will do a drawing to help me with proportions, which is what I'm going to show you right now. So the first sculpture I'm going to be doing is going to be of my fern fox, which is a character that I have sculpted before. So I have a pretty good idea of his proportions and details and what he looks like. For this sculpture, I'm going to be doing him in a pose that I haven't done before. I usually have him laying down like this, all curled up. So for this sculpture that I'm going to be doing, I decided I want to do a standing pose. So what I did was I downloaded a photo of a fox off of the internet. I printed it out at the size that I want the sculpture. So this is about 7 inches long or so. And then I took a piece of tracing paper, which is this here, and then I just kind of traced out the basic shapes from that photo. I'm not much of a sketch artist, to be honest, so it's just easier for me to use the proportions off of a photo reference like that. If you feel comfortable just doing a drawing straight out, that's fine too. But this can be a really helpful method if you're not really that great at drawing or just have a hard time with it, like I do. I added in, some of the details like the leaves on the back. But really just for this was I just wanted the proportions and the major shapes. I then take another piece of tracing paper and put it over top, and this is going to be the map for the armature. As you can see, it's just a very basic stick skeleton here. With the armature, you're going to want all of it to run through the center of each area. So as you can see here, I've got the line running through the neck right in the center. Same with the body, and the arms. The arms and legs, on a quadruped character like this, you're going to want a little bit of extension on the bottom there. That these horizontal lines there kind of represent the surface. So if he was going to be going on a base, we'd have this excess to go down into the base. If you imagine this is the wire, this wire will run into the base. Or if you're doing a freestanding sculpture like this figure is going to be, it could be bent to create the foot of the character. This will make more sense once we're actually bending the armature. So yeah, this is just kind of a basic starting point here to help you with proportions. The image that I've chosen here is fairly static. It's a side view, so it's easy to figure out the proportions. That's kind of an ideal image / pose for this sort of thing. You really don't want to find something with like a super dynamic pose because it can be hard to figure out the proportions from that. Now you might want a dynamic pose to reference for the actual pose that you'll be doing, but to create like an armature map, a pretty static pose like this, like side view, is the best way to go.